Okay, guys. First things first. We're gonna start off with my name. Well, my name's Neftali Flores, but I go with Nef because absolutely everybody gets my name wrong the first couple times. So yeah, let's stick with Nef. And you could also just ignore this. It's a mic. I have a smaller one, but it doesn't sound as good, and I just like holding big things in my hand. So yeah, just leave it at that. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is how did an average guy like me, with average hairstyle, completely average in every way, your average clothes, average grades, and sadly but true, an average dick. Hey Mark, why do you cut me off? I wasn't gonna say anything bad. I was just gonna say an average discipline. Okay, yeah. So a completely average guy. How did I get through university? Well, I sort of haven't yet. Well, yes, but no. I'm done with all my classes. I have all my credits. I just have to do an internship because over in Mexico, it's a requirement. You have to do two things: an internship and your social service. The internship, you just get a job somewhere related to what your major is. In my case, international trade. Well, I could just, go to customs or something like that. Right now, I'm doing it in a logistics company, but you could do it something, just related to you. If it's robotics, you have to go into an engineering, designing stuff and. And your social service is a 6-month job in some government related department. A lot of people in my major do it in SAT, which is the equivalent to the IRS in the US. Well, it's not as developed, I guess, but it's similar, okay? And yes, you do not get paid. You do not get paid. Sometimes in the internships they help you out, a small per diem, but you don't get paid. So, it kind of sucks working for free. But okay, you have to do it. Social service, you do not get paid at all. But okay, how did I make it through university? Not university, but how did I manage to pay for my rent? This is my apartment. It's kind of small, and you're just seeing this background. But how did I manage to pay for this, pay for food, pay for gas, and other stuff, going out with my friends? Well, ever since I was small, I kind of liked sales. I just like talking to people. Hey, you like this? You want this? Convince them. You gotta do this. Hey, you need this. I remember when I was in elementary school over in Nevada, I would sell candies to kids and stuff. Candies, just candies. Candies. Nothing bad with them, just candies. And that kind of always stuck with me. So what I would do is there's some stuff that I would just bring over from the US that I would buy usually in eBay and bid on them, get cheap stuff. I started off with phones, fixing them. Sometimes the speakers wouldn't work with a screen, and I just fix that, and then sell it over in Mexico because stuff is usually a bit more expensive over here. But that kind of, it was snowball. I got rolling with that. And eventually I changed up some products, laptops, monitors, and stuff like that. Gaming stuff, I love gaming. I probably gamed too much during my university days, which I shouldn't have. Well, it's not bad, but, it did affect my grades. You would ask yourself, how did you, realize you could do this? Where do you get inspired from? I kind of, I actually went kind of like this.
Hey, yes, sir. You wanna make some money, eh?
Yes, I need some money. I would like to make some money.
Oh, okay, just take this product right here, take it over the border to Mexico, and sell it over there.
But can I get in trouble for selling stuff over there, or what do I do?
No, you will not get in trouble as long as you follow the guidelines and pay taxes if needed.
Okay, that sounds pretty simple. Yeah. And there you have it. That's a very simple way to explain an importation or exportation, depends. Well, yeah, that's kind of how it went. I realized that I was close to a border, and you gotta take advantage of your opportunity. I learned how to use eBay. It might sound dumb, but you learn how to use websites. eBay was like, wow, dude, I love eBay. I love it. Bidding, or sometimes I would like just be checking stuff all day, like 24/7. And eventually I had to get a cheap product, that I could just sell for the original price. But I just got it for so cheap, and I would make $100 off of it, $50 off of it. And it was actually a fair price. I don't mark stuff up, okay? Just have that in mind. And it would be a fair price for used products, sometimes do. Yeah, so that's kind of how I've afforded to pay rent, to pay my gas, food. That's really interesting. I think you got to take advantage of your opportunities because they're all different. It varies from place to place, person to person. Sometimes you're good at something, sometimes you're good at something else. In my case, I like sales. I actually want to go into sales. I was close to a border. Right? Well, it's like a 3-hour drive, but my parents live over on the border, so I would kind of have like a storage room over there. Well, that's what made it possible for me. Plus the fact that I actually liked the products and stuff that I was selling. I knew what they were because I'm a bit into computers, gaming. So I understood these. So your customers really trust you and they notice that, well, it's a fair price and you just know what you're selling. You're not trying to screw anybody over. And now in 2 cities, I could say over here in Mexico, most of the community that buys used products knows about me because I that's what I do. So yeah, so I kind of feel like I've learned more from that than from school itself. You do learn a lot in school, and you meet people and you make friends. There's just something about doing something that it just turns into something way bigger than you would have expected. And I think that's really cool. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that if you're younger than me and you're barely starting, or maybe you're halfway through, it doesn't matter, and you feel like you're good at something, you try to make money off of it somehow. And eventually you're going to learn and you're going to grow. I think it's cooler than having, well, it's a side gig. You could call this a side gig. But it's cooler, than having a part-time job at some place because it might be hard. You go to school 6-7 hours a day and then 4-5 hours part-time job, which is kind of hard. It's understandable. This is kind of my side gig. Well, it is my side gig. And yeah, I do it on my free time, but it doesn't feel like I'm working my ass off. It's just something I like to do. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I feel like more people should try doing small stuff like that. I don't make a ton of money, but it pays the bills, which is pretty cool. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about. So I'm just freshly out of university, and I want to keep on doing this. I love sales. It's amazing. It's fun. So just give it a shot, and I'm pretty sure things are gonna work out for you, dude.